the waste of bananas. I mean, the ripeness windows are still too short between going from green, yellow to black or brown. So they were throwing it away. As they ripened, they were attracting fruit flies. And this is kind of a miracle. And the superpower of dates is, sure, it's nature's candy, sure, it's nature's caramel, it's great for a sweet tooth, but its superpower, it's that it's a long-lasting, fresh fruit.
Hey everybody, this is Caitlin Bricker, editor at Startup CPG. We are back with another founder feature. Today we're talking with Alan Scholnick, founder of Datefix. Datefix is fresh fruit made to go that blows traditional energy gels out of the water. Alan's entrepreneurial journey took an unexpected turn when his mother-in-law's date and orange blossom pastry opened his eyes to a whole new world of flavor. Now he's helping everyone from elite athletes to people managing diabetes with a low-glycemic fuel that actually tastes good. He's landed in 3,000 locations, proving that sometimes the best innovation is just putting nature's candy in a better package. I am so here for the Datefix mission, and I hope you are too. Enjoy! Hey everybody, welcome back to the Startup CPG Podcast. This is Caitlin, and today I'm here with Alan Scholnick, founder of Datefix. Alan, welcome to the show.
Hi, Caitlin. Nice to be with you.
I am so happy to have you here. I think this is probably the most excited I've ever been to have a guest on, because if anybody knows me, they know how much I love dates, and your product is so focused on dates. I am just so excited to get into this and have this conversation with you. So for anyone who's listening and is not familiar with Datefix, can you just give us a simple little introduction about what Datefix is?
Sure. Datefix is simple as can be. It's just fresh fruit made to go. That's it. And, the idea was to just, take the oldest fruit in the book and turn it into the most convenient fruit.
Perfect. I love everything about it. So before we dive more into Datefix, I want to know a little bit more about you. Can you tell us about your background?
Sure. So, entrepreneurial by background. I started my career in real estate and finance, and the sort of entrepreneurial journey that I really embarked on the most was I got involved in aviation because of my wife, and so we met in Singapore. We moved to Hong Kong, and she was already working in that field, and we started with effectively the first corporate jet charter business out of Hong Kong. And it was super pioneering and really audacious. We were technically licensed as a commercial airline, but we only did private jets. We were the first to do it. It was super pioneering, and we did a lot of medical evacuations. And this is a time when, this is a long time ago. But anyway, that was so entrepreneur. And Datefix has been my garage project, my passion project that I wanted to see if I could, turn it into my full-time endeavor.
Was there anything about your background or your personal lifestyle wants and needs that made you turn to dates and create Datefix? So it sounds like you were fueling the world with private jets and going all sorts of places and traveling, but why this form of fuel?
Okay, well, well, I was never the passenger on the jet. I just made it possible for other people to do it. So I guess I've been in the fuel business technically for a long time, if you think about it that way. No, Datefix is literally the intersection of my life. It really it's really two passions that came together. I'm a long distance runner. I'm really into fitness. So I knew this form factor from the quote unquote and energy gels. And then I love food, and I basically, like most people, I run to eat, and I eat to run, and I run to eat, and so this was just the marriage of those two loves, two passions, and this form factor, I thought the form factor was like genius because you can eat from it and you can dispense from it, and it doesn't have a mushroom cap like some of the baby food products, and but everything that had ever been inside of this product had always been artificial. And so going back to my wife, when she introduced me to her mother made a pastry for me when I first met her. And the filling was effectively Datefix. It was dates and orange blossom water. And growing up in Detroit, I frankly had not really had a date until that point. Well, the fruit date of that point, and orange blossom water. And that was super new to me. And as someone who just loved food, it just opened up my eyes into into a whole new world. So I thought if I could put that delicious filling hiding in the dough here. I mean, always we know the filling's the best part of anything. Like think of the cream in Oreos or something. So I literally took the fig out of the Newton, and I thought if I could put into this form factor, I might be onto something.
I definitely think you are onto something. The first time I got introduced to Datefix was via Daniel at I think it was our founder dinner out at Expo West. You were there. I'd never heard of Datefix before. I was still at the time fairly new to the team. Daniel knew this about me very early on, that if there's a product that has dates in it, I need to know about it. So when you brought us over together and I tasted it, I was like, okay, this is cool. And I think I chose like 4 or 5 brands out of all of the brands I saw at Expo West. And I was like, Datefix is a brand to watch. And I stand by that today. So I'm
Wow.
pumped about Datefix. So I need
Thank you.
you, of course, thank you. I need you to tell us what makes Datefix different than these other energy gels that are on the market. You were talking about the date paste that's in the product and the orange blossom water, but for anybody who's not familiar with an energy gel, why is Datefix different? And why would somebody consider grabbing Datefix over a traditional energy gel?
Well, I think it was the same reason that the common, I mean, runners will mostly tell you that I think gels have been sort of a necessary evil. There wasn't a lot of things that you could traditionally carry that was portable that you could crack open and eat on a run. And so I think the idea that you could theoretically convince yourself you were putting some kind of fuel in your body, even if it was artificial or synthetic, I guess that was, something maybe better than nothing, some would argue. But the common, knock on gels is they're really hard to digest. I mean, they create GI issues, and I mean that's sort of in keeping with the fact that they are artificial. I mean, the lead ingredient tends to be maltodextrin or tapioca syrup, or to try to put a healthy halo on tapioca syrup, it might be organic tapioca syrup. What was become to, if I see the word organic, it's almost like being embedded in something. It's like, I don't know, it feels like it's real butter or something. It's like, be careful, warning, red flag. But anyway, so gels are really hard to digest as a synthetic. And I also think there's been a lot of, conditioning and disinformation that somebody thinks they need to have like energy comes from some like outer space. And, we wanted to bring it back to basics. Food is energy, and good food is better energy. And what I mean by good food is there's, not all carbs or sugars are created equally, as we know, and they're good ones. And I don't think, anyone's made a better carb or a better sugar than Mother Nature. And so, we're backed by Mother Nature and common sense. And gels try to sell you, they're usually made in a lab, and some of them have lab in their name of their company. And our company's called The Perfect Date. And dates are already perfect the way they are, but we think we made them just a little bit better by changing the form factor, blending them up, making it easier to eat. You don't have to worry about the pit, the stickiness, the washing, and some people are turned off by the form factor of a date, the wrinkly appearance. It's not a looker. So we gave the date a makeover, and it's so simple, but it's somewhat revolutionary. And just to add, I mean, dates are fresh fruit. I mean, despite the wrinkly appearance, that's their ripe, fresh fruit state. And they're not dried. I mean, they can be dried out, but, when you pluck them from so this is fresh fruit made to go. And remarkably, and, this is blown. I mean, the people at where we did our food science have been blown. We stopped doing shelf stability tests at over 2 years. And there's no refrigeration. That's it, and it's just 2 ingredients, and there's really nothing like that. So it is, and the simplicity belies the kind of the innovation that's there.
2 things that you said that I want to hit on. One, yes, looking at a date on its own. First time I ever saw a date was with my now husband back in college. He was like, "Yeah, my mom just sent me dates," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He showed me. I had never had a date before. I don't even know if I knew what a date was. This was my God, like, I don't even want to say how long ago. It was a long time ago.
I didn't, so you shouldn't either.
But I saw it and I was like, this looks like a cockroach. This is like not appetizing looking whatsoever. And then I tried it and I was like, this is so good. And now I love what you're saying about the shelf life, because every time I go to the grocery store and I don't have dates with hanging out with the rest of my produce, I will get a container of dates at the store and I'll have them hanging out. But something that always happens to me is that they just sometimes do hang out there and I'm not using them as often as I intend to. But I'm always amazed at how fresh they are, even months after purchasing them. And probably if that's happening to me, it's the same way when they're just sitting on the store shelves too.
Yeah. Well, look, fruit. I mean, our sustainability story is that there's no no food waste and no fruit waste. And, what we solve for is this is the first fresh fruit that's shelf stable naturally. And that's somewhat, I mean, absolutely remarkable. And I contend that people would be eating fruit more if it just wasn't so difficult to eat on the go. I mean, it's fussy, it's messy. And so, I mean, you think about, you buy your raspberries. I mean, if you don't eat them almost the next day, they're like already turning fuzzy. So how many raspberries have been, tossed? We've done a trial with Starbucks. We've done with somewhat the idea to become their new banana, because and Starbucks in April of 2022 stopped selling bananas as their healthy fruit, because even the banana was just too much. It's stressed out. I mean, it was the waste of bananas. I mean, the ripeness windows are still too short between going from green, yellow to black or brown. So they were throwing it away as they ripened. They were attracting fruit flies. And this is kind of a miracle. And the superpower of dates is, sure, it's nature's candy. Sure, it's nature's caramel. It's great for a sweet tooth, but its superpower, it's that it's a long-lasting fresh fruit, and we need it.
We do need it. We definitely need it. And why I'm so excited about dates, yes, I discovered them when I was in college, but I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant. And I know a lot of people talk about you can eat dates towards the end of your pregnancy, I think to help induce labor. I never got to that point, but I was stuck with having to eat gummies, glucose gummies, to help get my blood sugar up when my blood sugar was getting low. And then also having to eat these, they were kind of like glucose tablets. I was able to find a clean version online, but it was like eating a pellet of chalk. It was not great. I didn't know about Datefix back then, and I wish I did, but I still have blood sugar issues almost 2 years later, and Datefix is like something I can just stick in my pocket, in the front of my sling bag, in my bag before I go swimming in the morning. It's amazing because it is serious when the blood sugar gets low. I'm not even diabetic. So I want to get into this with you about people who have diabetes. Have you done any testing with CGMs or finger pricking and using Datefix versus another product, or just Datefix in general, and how that impacts the blood sugar?
So this is really an organic story. This is, we discovered in the journey here that we didn't realize the benefit of dates to the diabetes community, in particular the type 1 diabetes community. And so we learned through our customers, just like you mentioned in reference to helping with labor, we started getting testimonials from customers who said, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and dates are low glycemic. And we knew they were low glycemic, and to the point that we decided to now add low glycemic, as I call it, on the back of the pack, which I think is taking on an increasing importance to the broader public, even if you're not a diabetic, because effectively that's the fancy way of saying no sugar crash. And that's why Datefix, I joke, it's morning fruit, afternoon pick me up and dinner date. But yeah, so our customers started, they would send us readings of their GCMs. And they were telling us their stories about, well, it's low glycemic and it's got a lot of fiber. And so they use it as a pre or post, and it's been a game changer. So much so that we have gotten the most heartwarming testimonials. One in particular that jumps up, but it's not limited to one, is a woman who is an Olympian as a marathoner, and during her training got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. She thought she was going to have to hang up her laces and say, I can't do this anymore. And she heard from another elite athlete about Datefix. And now Datefix has been really the savior for her, that's enabled her to continue to pursue her dreams. And as it stands, we might have, that I know of, two women who could be in the 2028 LA Olympics as marathon runners for two different countries, actually. And which would be, incredible. But more importantly is the fact that, and, it's been very gratifying when you hear these stories that, there are people that are choosing to buy Datefix because they really care about their health and wellness. And so they have the freedom to make that choice. But now we've discovered that we're a necessity for someone with type 1 diabetes when they know about Datefix. And so, Datefix is in all the places you described. It's at their nightstand. It's in their go. It is it's glued to them. And that's something that we, didn't look for or expect, but it's super gratifying to feel like we're that important to someone's life.
Well, I think obviously the ingredients are a huge standout when it comes to making a choice for me now that I know that Datefix is an option. The biggest thing aside from the ingredients is the nutrition panel, because I wasn't finding fiber in any of these products, even though they were cleaner options, dye-free, etc. But I wasn't getting that stability for my blood sugar when I was taking them. It was just a hit. But then if I wasn't near a food source, I'd have to get another hit. And I'm not a scientist, I'm not an endocrinologist, but I would have to imagine that if there's no other added nutritional aspect, it's probably not great for my blood sugar and my health over time if I keep just getting those hits without that sustained energy and other nutritional benefits for my body.
Yeah, look, there's a reason that people break fast with dates. It is, I don't want to say it's a complete, but, you can survive for quite a bit. It's nature's survival food. It's not the only one. It's, you shouldn't have just dates, but it really has the kind of, properties on a multiple of levels between the fiber, the carbs, being low glycemic. Dates have more potassium by weight than a banana. So someone's like the electrolytes. Well, electrolytes in part are, potassium, and, yes, it's there. And, where does the energy come from? Well, carbs, like food is energy. And and the other thing about, this form factor and this product is, of course, you can eat it from the pack as a snack or as a fuel. And that's one of the things that we've had to, snack, fuel, like we're all these things. And it's, but we've, but people are putting it on food. As I said, morning fruit. People are putting this on Greek yogurt in the morning because they find it's a better fruit experience and fat and quick than buying the pre-mixed fruits in the yogurts, which feel a little like drizzle fruity and, a little, you're not eating a strawberry in the middle of the yogurt there. And here when you see the texture of Datefix, you are getting a date. This is not a watered down date. There's texture, which people love, love, love.
For sure. For sure. I've done the same thing, especially I've been doing this crazy thing that's kind of been transformative for me is waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, doing my 5 to 9, then my 9 to 5 work day, and then doing 5 to 9 all over again for the evening. And then I get my 8 hours of sleep. But Datefix really is the perfect thing, especially if I wake up a few minutes late and I need to get to the gym for 5:30 and get my swim in. Grab the yogurt, grab the Datefix, right on top. There's my carb. I don't have to worry about washing fruit and doing that whole thing. And then heading out the door, I can just grab the two things, grab a spoon, and I'm gone.
I love that. And, so I have a massive sweet tooth. I'll tell you something I loved. We haven't gone live with this yet, but we're going to introduce the Datefix Sundae. Datefix is literally the most amazing ice cream topping. It is so satisfying. And if for those who like a crunch element in there, you can, and you don't have a nut allergy, you can sprinkle like almonds. And so I just take roasted almonds, unsalted. I put them on, whether it's straw, it's almost like doesn't matter the flavor of the ice cream, but there's a whole range, and it is like, it's lights out, and it's like, it does everything that the fudge, it doesn't melt. Its texture holds up against the ice cream, and it is so decadent. I can't even tell you. And it's and then you're eating fruit with ice cream, so it's like reinventing. Like, I guess if the banana split was meant to be, bananas, fruit in this dessert item, we've got it with dates, and it's anyway. I invite everyone to try that.
I definitely want to try that. All right, so that's a good segue into my next question for you. We know where Datefix is now, but where do you see Datefix going in, say, the next 5 years?
So we started out, we've been evolving quickly here. We've been selling in the market now for about 2 years. We've been really lucky. We've been blessed. We're in over 3,000 locations. Walmart is our biggest customer, and Whole Foods, and we're on the feed, and we're running stores. And so it's been interesting because we have a product that you can sell in a running store, you can sell in a fitness store, a camping store, and a gourmet supermarket next to the cheese. And so we're trying to really, we're trying to make Datefix your ride or die sidekick. We're all about radical simplicity, and we just want it to be kind of like, your daily grab. You take your phone and your keys and your water bottle, and, just because Datefix is sort of like, I mean, there are other things you could take, but you just know it's as clean as it gets. And so we're really trying to help educate people on the versatility. We can sell in lots of non-traditional retail. I would imagine, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in an athlete, if we end up selling in, Nike or Lululemon one of these days. And we can really leverage a healthy halo here that's super unique. We don't have to exaggerate performance claims. We don't say that you have Datefix and you're going to be able to, leap over a building or run your fastest time. I mean, this is just, this is in the lunch snack. And so our time is really being spent on all the versatility, all the ways Datefix can be part of your lifestyle, because, the trend, it's not trend. People just want to eat cleaner and healthier. And since it is this, and people like sweet, and we don't have to change our behavior about that. That's just a new way of doing it. It's actually going back to the old way, fruit, but we made fruit accessible and practical. And I think that breakthrough is really what we're trying to spend our time on, and just take the forgotten fruit and mainstreaming it. And I think that's really fun, because I think it's been fascinating to watch where some food item that started in one corner of the planet, made its way around the globe and became something. And I think there's a certain way we're trying to do that with Datefix and the date.
It hits home for me. I'm all about it. I love watching your reels on Instagram. I get a kick out of them. Because, pardon my language, but you are just so no bullshit when you're on there and talking about your products and the way people are viewing health and nutrition. I just think it's so funny because it's so basic, so simple, but you are going back to the basics with your product and the way that you're educating your consumers, or soon to be, hopefully, consumers online. I just get a kick out of it because I think it's great. So tell me about your approach to educating your consumers and how you might make believers out of people who didn't believe in dates before.
Yeah, thank you. It's really, we're trying to have some fun with it, and we're trying to have more fun with it. We spent the weekend filming. I moved the company to Miami Beach. Miami Beach is, I think, really one of the health and wellness capitals of the country. We decided that we're going to make Muscle Beach in Miami Beach our world headquarters. So that's where we were this week filming some spoofs. We'll see how it goes. We decided to make the team members characters in our own little sitcom. So that's coming next. Hopefully we execute on it. But what we're trying to tell people is, I think, what they already know, but are looking for an outlet to express. when we do the running shows, people are like, they're awful, but they buy it reflexively. Some are led to believe that's part of the lifestyle. So we on the running on the, we had we brought out to the beach a whiteboard, and on it we wrote Datefix equals fruit. Datefix does not equal gel. So we're having some fun with that, because the form factor sort of types this as a gel, because they've never seen fruit in the form factor. So they've always seen gel, whatever a gel is. So, so we're having a lot of fun with that. I think we're trying to find ways to, no BS ways of, telling people, like, you know, just, think a little bit outside the box, like the whole protein craze. And I think it's getting, protein when when you're eating, I don't know, things you otherwise wouldn't eat, and you sprinkle protein into it. Now you can eat, it's almost licensed to eat junkier or lesser quality food. So while there's a better for you food movement, we're actually adding, a protein additive to things that aren't maybe, sort of regressive on that scale, and say, you can have your protein brownie now. Brownies, I love a brownie, no knock on a brownie, but I want the best brownie, and I don't really care if it has protein in it. And there are so many better ways of having more enjoyable food ways to get protein. So I think we try to, I think we're trying to, also call out, we see protein, and then it's next to art, it's swimming in artificial flavors, So look, we're, our early adopters are people who, respect food and what they put in their body. They don't think, ranch is a flavor, as a natural flavor. We get a kick out of reading packs that, the familiar setup. You'll see the supplement, the powder, the gel that's got a, strawberry banana, and they put a strawberry outside the pack and a banana outside the pack. And then you read the ingredient list, and there isn't a strawberry banana to be found. It's amazing how many flavor profiles natural flavors can take on, I guess. So we're just having fun, kind of, it's like a gift out there. And so we're having some fun on it. And we're just trying to hope, endear people, and it's authentic, it's sincere. And we don't really want to tell you the science story. We want to tell you I don't know, like, we just want to tell you the, authentic story, and just try to have fun doing it. If nothing else, hopefully we'll entertain ourselves. And maybe if we do that, other people will laugh too.
Well, you have at least one person, me, laughing with you. So
Thank
mission
you.
accomplished. I have had so much fun talking to you. I would love if you could tell us where we can find you and Datefix online, for anybody that's listening and wants to maybe go order a variety pack, or just follow along on the journey for some laughs.
Great. So datefix.com. At Datefix is our social handle. It's great. You can go to the retail world and buy a single pack, and try it out. And you can, go online and buy it by the box. And that tends to be what people do. We have a variety box. We, minimum order is one box and shipping, and there you go. And we send it all over, and we send them out every day. And we appreciate everyone's, support. And we love what your community is doing, by the way. I'm talking. I'm trying to help, share what I know, but I'm the student all the time. So thank you very much for, providing the resources to all of us. And I think as people who are interested in learning and teaching, you foster amazing community. We get to do it around, generally food and what could be better.
Thanks, Alan. Daniel really has created something extremely special with Startup CPG, and I am just amazed every single day how many people are joining. We recently passed 30,000 members. I think we're very close to 30.5. It's unbelievable. It's great. When I joined in October of 2024, I think we were at 23,000 members, which is
Wow.
Says a lot. And we're really lucky to have members like you, really just creating really standout products, doing something different, doing something better, doing something great for yourself and for the community. So Thank you.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Great talking to you. I'm sure I'll catch you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, do us a solid and leave us a 5-star review on ratethispodcast.com/startupcpg. I'm Caitlin Bricker, the host of the Founder Feature Series and editor at Startup CPG. Feel free to find me on LinkedIn or reach out to me on Slack and get on my radar. I'm always keeping my eyes peeled for new and emerging brands to spotlight. If you're a potential sponsor who would like to appear on the podcast, please email partnerships@startupcpg.com. And finally, as a reminder for anyone listening, if you haven't already, we would love for you to join our free CPG community on Slack. You can sign up via our website at startupcpg.com. See you around.